feel lonely because your vision makes you feel lonely, that's a good sign. You are a true leader. And when leaders run into leaders, they are usually one at a time. That's why this room is filled with unique people. You are not normal people. Tell your neighbor, I thought you was weird. Normal people do not attend the Increase event. There are people outside this room who are caught in the rat race. They're catching buses, driving in their cars, going to their offices, locking the door, trapped in a box. You decide to take a break from all of that and come where eagles gather. Welcome to the eagle's nest. And the good news is, this place is an incubator for eagle thinking. That's why I'm glad you're here and you're stuck here for 3 days. Why? You want to be in an environment where you stop looking and start seeing. Make a note of this. Each one of these animals possess qualities that make them unique and make them rulers. And I want to talk briefly about why they are so different. One of them is unique because of attitude, the other because of vision. Let's start with this lion. I love the lion. Lions are amazing. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions. I'll say it slow. An army of sheep led by a lion will defeat an army of lions. How? If they are led by a sheep. Let me say it again. An army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions if they are led by a sheep. What's the principle? Leadership determines the mentality of the followers. An effective leader can transform cowards into warriors. An effective leader can transform frightened people into bold people. An effective leader can walk into a room of depression and turn it into courage. In other words, leaders determine the mentality of the followers. They determine the morality of the followers. They also determine the attitude of the followers. Leaders determine the commitment of the followers. And the most dangerous one, leaders determine the destiny of the followers. I love the words of the greatest leader that ever lived. He said, if the blind lead the blind, they both fall into the ditch. What amazing about that statement is he actually suggests that you can be a leader and be blind. Let me quote it again. If the blind lead, he says, that means you could be following someone with a title, power, position, money, but they're blind. They have no vision. So vision is more important than title, power, money, authority, strength, because vision determines the destiny of the followers. The first question you should ask a person who you are suggesting to follow is, where are you going? What is your vision? Because vision determines your destiny. And I want to ask you, who is following you? Where are you taking them? Your children, your grandchildren, your staff, your members? Are you stuck with sermons, pastors? Or is there a vision in the church? It's not about preaching, it's about leading. What makes me sad is when I hear people say, Pastor, that was a good message. That's not impressive to me. They should say, that helps me believe in where we're going, Pastor. Vision is more important than speaking. And so this is an important session. If the blind lead, he says, they both fall into the ditch. You can be in leadership position and be very blind, and therefore vision becomes the danger in leadership. Vision is more important than power and position. Write it down. Vision is more important than what? Power and position. So don't pursue power and position. Capture vision first. Because you could be guilty of ditch dwelling. Let's talk about the lion for a minute. I love the lion. The lion is not the tallest animal in the jungle. He's not the largest. He's not the strongest, not the heaviest. He's not the most powerful lion in the jungle. He's not even the most intelligent. And yet the lion is the leader. Tell your neighbor there's hope for you. Come on, tell your neighbor there's hope for you. See, the lion is a mystery. The lion cancels all of your reasons for not being a leader. He's not the tallest, not the strongest, he's not the biggest, not the most intelligent, not the most powerful, and yet when he shows up, everybody moves. Which means that leadership has nothing to do with your size, your strength, your intelligence, your power, or your position. So the big question is, what makes the lion the leader? It can't be his size, it's not his strength, it's not his power, it's not his intelligence. So leadership, therefore, has more to do with something that you've not been taught. The only thing that makes the lion the leader is one word: attitude. Write it down, attitude. Leaders think differently. Their attitude separates them from the followers. Not their size, not the color of their skin, not their strength, not their power, not their money. That's why you can get a PhD and still be a follower. And most PhDs are. I've never met too many billionaire PhDs. Most folks who are rich dropped out of school. Bill Gates, yes. You know why? Because leadership is not about intellect. It's not about academics. You are in this event, I'm telling you why. You came here because you had enough academics. You're broke with your PhD and your bachelor's degree and still can't pay your mortgage. Your parents was wrong. They told you get an education, you become rich and wealthy. So you got it and you ain't. Something happened here because your parents missed it. That's why you came to the Increase event. So what's the key to attitude? Write this down. You know, I want you to see this photograph. I took this photograph myself in South Africa. Here's a lion. He's sitting among elephants. The elephants could kill him with one stump. Look at the size of the elephant foot and the lion's head. One stump could destroy the lion. And yet the lion is not moving. This elephant is powerful. As a matter of fact, how do lions see elephants? Well, I want you to see an elephant here. This was another one I took. Elephants are like tractors, like monsters. An elephant is 80 times bigger than a lion, 150 times heavier. They are 87% more intelligent than the lion. They can destroy a lion. They are powerful, heavy. They are monsters. They are awesome. They can destroy a lion. These guys are like mountains. And yet, when the lion looks at this power and this strength, he thinks one word. Write it down. Lunch. Now, this is important. I've seen this in the wild. My wife and I went on safaris many times. Lions reduce elephants to a meal in their minds. I'm talking about leadership here.
That's very good.
Remember, whatever you call a thing, that is what it is to you. So what makes the lion dangerous is the way he thinks. His attitude dictates his behavior. If the elephant is lunch, what do? You don't run from lunch. You run to lunch. If you're facing a big problem right now in your company, in your business, in your church, in your family, I've come to tell you that that big problem is simply lunch. So what do lions do when they see lunch? They do something very strange. They attack lunch.
Yeah.
This thing that could kill them becomes their meal. And they respond based on what they think about it. The power of leadership, therefore, is belief and attitude. Because leaders don't see through their eyes, they see through their what? Their belief. The lion believes this is lunch. So he responds based on what he believes. And he attacks it with that commitment. To a leader, life is simply what you believe it is. I wasn't born the way I am. I had to be mentally trained to become what I am. I was born in a very, poor family, 11 children. I'm number 6. I used to sleep on the floor. Roaches and rats crawled over my bodies. I remember in the island where I still live, that wooden house on 4 big rocks. I landed here in my own jet, parked right over there. How do you go from the floor to your own jet? See, that's what we're dealing with in this increased event. It's not about religion. There's some things that happened to me, and I've been teaching them to millions of people, and it's happening to them too. And you're in the right place at the right time on the right morning. It's going to happen to you before you leave here. Oh, come on, everybody clap your hands. Let's get it. The lions brought the elephant down, and they had him for lunch. The unique thing about lions is they are all leaders, but they never work alone. That's why we're here as a group, as a team. We are here to help you bring your lion down, your elephant down, because we're all lions. Lions are leaders, but they never work alone. You were never designed by God to succeed by yourself. You are designed to need what I call a troop. You need to have your pride. What makes the lion dangerous is not the lion, it's the pride. Elephants are not afraid of lions. I've seen elephants kill lions. But when the pride shows up, the elephant is lunch. Whatever you were born to do in life, you were not born to do it alone. That's why you're here listening to me. I'm part of your pride. That's why you came to be with Bob. He's part of your pride. All of us are part of a pride to help you succeed with your dream. Your dream is a big elephant. It looks impossible. We want you, first of all, to see it the right way. It's lunch. And then we're going to help you bring it down. And we're going to all eat. And you're going to enjoy yourself. And you're going to die saying, I had a good meal. Yeah. Write this down. So what is leadership then? Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, generated by a passion, motivated by a vision, birthed by a conviction, produced by a purpose. That's a long definition, right? Make sure I get those books so there. It took me 30 years to write that one sentence. I read 272 books now on leadership and couldn't find a definition that satisfied me. So I wrote my own. And now they're quoting me at Harvard University. This definition is complicated because for you to become a great woman and a powerful man, you got to understand this definition. Can we read it together out loud? Go. Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration generated by a passion, motivated by a vision, birthed from a conviction, produced by a sense of purpose. That's leadership. Each word is important. That means you must first of all discover the purpose for your life. That purpose then becomes a conviction, which becomes a vision that you see. That vision gives you a passion to pursue it. That passion inspires other people. You influence them because you inspire them, and they call you a leader. So leaders never seek leadership. People make you leaders by your passion. Your passion influences them. My point is this: you will never become a leader until you find something you're passionate about. And look at passion. Passion is what? A desire stronger than death. In other words, people will never live for you until you find something to die for. When you read stories about Bill Gates and you read stories about Stephen Jobs and these guys, there's always a point in their life where they sold their house and gave the money to the business. Are you willing to die for your dream? Every success was bankrupt first. If you loosen everything, that's a good sign. You're on your way to greatness. Because every vision must be tested for authenticity. If your vision is authentic, it'll pass the test. You are as strong as what stops you. The test you're going through now, if you quit, that's how strong you are. You are as strong as what you stopped at. And that's why these sets we're going to be talking about is getting you through that pressure moment, because your vision is stronger than your comfort. Let me give you something to think about. Make a note of this. The most important principle of leadership is purpose, passion, principles, and vision. Because vision is the purpose why you exist as a leader. And that includes a parent, a manager, a pastor, a supervisor, a CEO, a businessman, businesswoman. Whatever you are, your vision creates the passion. And the passion inspires others. You cannot lead people who you don't inspire. And if you don't inspire people, you have to manipulate them. Once you manipulate people, you're no longer a leader. You are a dictator. Leaders inspire, they don't manipulate. So the key is knowing how to inspire. Answer, your passion for what you're doing. Setting aside these days in your life to come here is an important decision that you made. Because you're supposed to provide vision and energy and initiative and motivation and passion when you go back home to others who will capture your cause and follow you. In other words, leadership influences others to move from the known to the unknown. And to do that, you got to give them a dream that they can see. That's vision. Vision is simply selling the future to the present. Vision is visiting the future, taking photographs and coming back to the present and selling it to the people. To a visionary, the future is more important than the present and more real than the present. Leaders don't live in the present. They live in the future. They visit the present. And they come to try and convince you to go to the future with them. Visionary leaders, therefore, have no boxes. They don't live in boxes. They live at the edge of the frontier of possibilities. That's why leaders are very rarely depressed. Because the future doesn't depress you. It's the present that depresses you. Terrorism depresses you. Economic crisis depresses you. A divorce depresses you. Broken home depresses you. A kid on drugs depresses you. Chronic disease depresses you. You better quickly live in the future. Because vision gives you back your health. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me close with this. We can come back here. True leadership plans change. True leadership initiates change. True leadership anticipates change. True leaders manage change. True leaders never see change as crisis. And true leaders use change to their advantage. Because the future is where they live. Can you remember this? Always look into the future. Because that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life.
That's good. Like that.
Your vision gives you health. Your vision gives you hope. Your vision gives you perspective of the present. Your vision tells the present you are temporary.